I'm gonna do a quick rundown for anybody who might be getting ready to do a procedure like this. I'm guessing I've done these inpatient and outpatient, but the outpatient side of things, you get here, they go through your meds. If you don't have a port and you're not already accessed, oh, we're leaving. All right, Marcus just gave me a ride, like he was the transport guy, and he was awesome. And I said, do you want to be on our vlog? And you know what you said, Marcus. You said no. He said he didn't get a haircut, so he needs to wait till he gets a haircut, but here's your shout out.
Next time, Marcus.
You're awesome.
You get a haircut. We'll coordinate so you can get a haircut beforehand.
And this is my moment to take to say, no matter what job you have in the hospital, you make a difference.
Yeah.
If you are transporting patients when they're in their loopy stage, I wonder if I said anything crazy to you, Marcus. Sorry. If you are cleaning, like trimming these bushes outside, if you are cleaning up the garbage, like we all know what happens in the pre-op when they're trying to flush your port and there's like alcohol wipes flying. So if you're cleaning up those alcohol wipes afterward, you make a difference. We literally could not do it without you. The hospital is not just run by one doctor. It takes an entire village to keep these people alive. So anyway, I wanted to finish the rundown of what to expect if you are going in for this sort of procedure. I like to share my experience. One of the reasons is to bring down the fear factor for those of you who are getting ready to go in. I thought about going back and watching my endoscopy videos from 2 years ago, because I was like, I don't remember what happened. Now I'm burping and farting, so that's good. So you go in, they're gonna go through your medicines, they're gonna ask when you last ate, they are gonna either access your port or give you an IV, start fluids, take your blood pressure, and then the doctor team who's doing whatever procedure you're having, so for me the GI team came in and basically consented me, I signed my name. Anesthesiologist comes in, you're gonna wanna tell them your past experience with anesthesia if you have anything notable. My notable experience is that I've had times when I'm waking up and I'll go to itch my nose. I'm like waking up and I go to itch my nose and my whole body is like kind of convulsing, but it's like involuntary movement. So whatever that anesthesia was didn't work for me, but I think that only happened like a few times. This time and last time and all my recent years, I always say, whatever they did last time, that worked. I didn't go crazy, so.
Can I say a tip?
Yes, please.
So, on the port, like if you have a port and you're independent with your care,
Where did the coffee go?
I finished it. We can get you a coffee. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I didn't know, like, yeah.
It's no problem. Okay.
Yeah, if you're independent with your port care and like you have a caregiver who accesses your port or you do it yourself, and you like, basically if you want to use your port for a procedure, we recommend getting it accessed beforehand, because generally hospitals don't want to access your port just for a procedure. But if it's accessed, they're happy to use it.
Yep.
From our experience.
Yep. I mean, even today.
Yep.
The nurse anesthetist said, we wouldn't usually access you, but since you're accessed, we'll use it. And I'm like, that's what it's for. Like, why? I get it. But my port, I know some people really try to avoid using their port at all costs. My ports have, like, this is what they're for. They're for IVIG, IV antibiotics, I don't know, platelet transfusions during surgery. It's for serving me. So if it would serve me to have it accessed, I know that sometimes they say there's a lifetime stab capacity for the port, like it's gonna work for 200 stabs in its lifetime. I don't keep track of how many stabs I've done.
Your first port, I'm pretty sure, probably surpassed its stab capacity.
It lived like 11 years. It was brilliant.
It still lives on our Christmas tree.
It's true, it lives on.
And it doesn't look that stabbed up. It does look a little stabbed
It's pretty stabbed, but it's good. So, all of that to say, I believe that ports are to be used. Now, there's a lot of people who are not in the hospital setting, they're not qualified to touch your port, and so you will never, at least in my 20 years of experience, almost 20 years of experience with a port, you'll never find a phlebotomist who is allowed to access your port just to draw blood. They're not trained on it, and they will not do it. So there's no point in asking. But there are specialized IV nurses in the hospital who can do it. And somebody came in, this was funny. Two nurses came in with what I saw, sterile packaging, and I was like, oh, I'm already accessed. And they were like, what? They were amazed at Peter, and they were like, that's incredible. Then she seemed like she was gonna get teary because it was like romantic that he does my port for me. I was like, he's been stabbing me for 11 years. But,
yeah.
So IV access, however you decide what you wanna do. And then, when I'm right about to wheel back, I'm sure this is different for everybody, they give me Versed in IV, and then I leave my glasses so I can't see anything, so that's always like an interesting experience. They wheel me back, then
the first sign that Versed is working for Mary is she goes,
wait, did it? Because I feel like I don't have the words to articulate, I think the drug is working, everybody. So I just go. It's also my sign when my blood sugar is very, very low.
Yes.
But,
Is that a similar feeling?
not at all.
Not at all, okay.
And, okay, so when I go back there, I don't think they put me on I think I was just in my normal bed. Usually for whatever I go back in the surgery room for, they put me on that bed, they transfer me, but I'm pretty sure they did not transfer me this time. And because usually I'm like, I can kind of remember that part where it's like, oh, this is crazy, they've got to lift me off, and is my butt gonna show? And like, I can remember that sort of thing. I don't remember that for this time. So anyway, they lay me back, they put some pillow behind my back, they turn you on your left side. They're like, turn on your left side, and then this time it was a dark green plastic little thingy. It's like a circle. It's like this big or something, and it just holds your mouth open. It's fine, it doesn't hurt, it's no problem. And I realize, I think they do that because once you're asleep, to pry your mouth open to put the tube down would be so difficult. Can you imagine? So they just put this hard plastic thing, and then you're just like on the pillow like this. And then I don't remember anything after that. It was like, I feel a little gypped that I really enjoy the like slow falling asleep, and it's like the world is getting slower and slower.
She's weird like that.
And this was like, okay, I'm done, it's over. I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you think that's like an acquired taste? Like you like you've had to be put to sleep quite a bit? Or I guess not even quite a bit.
Before my port, I was put under anesthesia for PICC line placements because they tried placing, after a few PICC line placements, my arms got scarred up, and then it's like your brain also like says no PICC lines allowed. I don't know what happened, but basically they had to sedate me to get a PICC line in. Now this was as 20 years ago. So they probably have a easier way of placing a PICC line now. I don't know. But all of that to say, I had PICC line placements. And I remember the best anesthesia, it tasted bad, but it was like the mask situation. Oh, I remember they put oxygen on me back there just this time. I remember that. And I think that's the last thing I remember. But, okay, so that one anesthesia when I was like 13 or something, I remember I'm breathing in this mask and it was like everything started going slower and it felt like my blood was turning to gel and like my legs were like filling up with gel, and then like my body was filling up with gel, and then
I think that's what I remember from the one time I've been
really? You remember that?
I remember just like not gel, just like the slowing down, which I feel like is maybe the gel.
Did you like it?
I don't think so. Oh, actually, I have. It's not one time I've been put to sleep, but
more than once.
I'm just saying I don't remember my tonsils because I was so young. But
he was 3.
My wisdom teeth I remember.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And so I think some people do not enjoy the sensation of being put to sleep. So I think you're either in one camp or the other. And if you've never been put to sleep and you're getting ready to and you feel nervous, I guess just know you'll probably either love it or hate it. And I vote that you love it. What?
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's helpful to hear. Like, it's not that, and like Mary really loves it.
Yeah. And you would think after being put to sleep a whole bunch of times, I'm like over it, or maybe it even feels like traumatic in some way, but for me, that's not the case. I love it. I was curious if this time I would feel nervous or sad because of Elijah. Like, it's a new element in my life to keep in mind, but I didn't feel nervous or sad. I knew I was in good hands, and it was fine. I just knew, like, I have to do this. This is just the next thing I gotta do, so it's not like I have an option. But yeah, I think asking for Versed, midazolam, I think is what it's called, they have always, I'll say, they usually give me something that makes me loopy in here, and they go, oh yeah, no problem, let me go get that. So that's how it works for me. And what else? I do know that when they used to give me Versed when I was like 11, when I got my first port PICC line, the first one in my memory. I may have had one as an infant, but anyway, they gave me Versed liquid by mouth, and it made me do the opposite. I went crazy, like crazy. And so I always thought that I had an adverse reaction to Versed, but then one anesthesiologist one time, she was like, do you trust me? And I was like, I don't know you. No, I was like, yes. She's like, trust me, I'm gonna make it awesome. You're gonna be good. And she gave me Versed IV, and ever since I've been, sign me up. So anyway, I think, okay, what else? Then you wake up basically back in the same room you were in, depending on your endoscopy place. And then my throat hurts just barely. I'm farting a lot, so I'm guessing they did blow me up with air. And no pain, just a tiny sore throat. And we're pulling up and we're gonna go get our baby. Thanks for joining us. Love you guys. Bye. Bye.